Hey coin collectors and curious minds! Welcome back, the place where history, money, and treasure all collide. Today, we're diving deep into the world of a small but fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1987 D Liberty 1-cent coin. Don't underestimate its size, because this tiny copper-coated coin tells a much bigger story of history, economics, minting marvels, and possibly even hidden value. To truly understand the significance of the 1987 D penny, we need to travel back in time, not just to 1987, but to the origins of the Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. The Lincoln cent replaced the Indian head penny. It became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, a move that marked a turning point in U.S. coin design. By the 1980s, the Lincoln cent was already a familiar sight to Americans. However, 1982 brought a big change. Due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint shifted from 95% copper coins to copper-plated zinc. So, by the time we get to 1987, the Lincoln cent was being struck on a zinc core with a thin copper coating. That's what your 1987 D penny is made of: 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. But what does the D mean? It stands for the Denver Mint, located in Colorado. The Denver Mint has been producing coins since 1906 and is known for its high-volume, high-quality production. In 1987, the Denver Mint struck an enormous quantity of these 1-cent coins, over 4.2 billion. That's right, billion with a B. Let's talk design. The obverse, or front, features the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. You'll see Lincoln facing right, with the words "In God We Trust" arching above his head, Liberty to the left, and the date 1987 to the right. Just below the date is the tiny letter D, the mint mark indicating it was made in Denver. Flip it over to the reverse, and you'll find the image of the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo in 1959 to honor Lincoln's 150th birthday. Look closely, and you can even see a tiny image of the seated Lincoln statue in the center of the memorial. The reverse also features the inscriptions "United States of America" across the top, "E Pluribus Unum" just above the memorial, and 1 cent across the bottom. The 1987 D penny was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint had already shifted to high-speed, high-volume production. Over 4.2 billion of these pennies were minted in Denver that year alone, which means that this is by no means a rare coin, at least in terms of total numbers. However, not all 1987 D pennies are created equal. Like any high-production coin, there are a few interesting errors and varieties that can make some 1987 D pennies worth more than just 1 cent. Some known mint errors for this year include off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, and broad strikes. A sharply off-center strike or a strong double die can increase a coin's value dramatically. These error coins are rare and often escape notice because they resemble normal coins at first glance. Now, let's talk about what your 1987 D penny is actually worth today if you found one in your pocket or an old jar. The answer depends heavily on the condition of the coin. In average circulated condition, meaning it has wear, scratches, or is slightly discolored, The 1980 penny is still worth its face value, 1 cent. Because billions were minted, and because they're not very old yet in numismatic terms, circulated 1980 pennies are extremely common and not rare. However, for collectors, condition is king. If you happen to find a 1980 penny in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially those graded MS65 or higher by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, then you're talking about more value. In 2025, the market value of a 1980 penny depends largely on its condition and whether it has any errors or is in a certified mint state. A standard, average condition 1980 penny is worth 1 cent. A brilliant uncirculated example, meaning no wear, perfect luster, sharp detail, might fetch anywhere from 10 cents to $1, depending on how perfect it is. A high-grade example, such as one graded MS65 by PCGS or NGC, can sell for around $5 to $10. But here's the kicker: if you have a truly exceptional specimen, like an MS67 or higher, those coins can sell for up to $50 to $100 or more in online auctions or collector shows. These high-end examples are rare and highly sought after by registry set collectors. And don't forget about error coins. A 1980 penny with a strong double die, clear off-center strike, or other major mint error could be worth anywhere from $5 to several $100s, depending on rarity and eye appeal. So now the million-dollar question, or should I say, the 1 cent question: is it worth holding on to your 1980 penny? If it's just a normal circulated coin, probably not. But if it's in amazing shape or has a visible mint error, then yes, absolutely keep it and consider getting it graded. These coins may not buy you a house, but they can still be valuable and historically fascinating. And there you have it, the complete story behind the 1980 Liberty 1 cent coin. A common coin, yes, but one that's packed with history, personality, and maybe even hidden value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, every coin has a story to tell, and this little penny tells one that spans more than a century of American heritage. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting content, and ring that bell so you never miss a video. Got a 1980 penny of your own? Found an error coin? Drop a comment below, we love hearing from you. Welcome back, coin collectors, history lovers, and curious minds. In today's deep dive episode, we're uncovering the secrets and stories behind a small but mighty piece of American history, the 1996 Liberty 1 cent coin. This humble penny might seem like just another copper piece in your pocket, but beneath its surface lies a fascinating tale of American heritage, economic evolution, and collectible value. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just curious about the change in your coin jar, you'll want to stay tuned until the end. Because what you think is just 1 cent could be worth a lot more than you expect. Let's start with a quick dive into the origins. The coin we call the Liberty 1 cent is officially known as the Lincoln cent. It's the longest-running coin design in U.S. history and was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Prior to that, the cent bore the image of Lady Liberty in various artistic interpretations, which is why the phrase, Liberty 1 cent, is still associated with the design. When Lincoln's profile replaced Liberty's image, It marked the first time a real person appeared on a regular issue U.S. coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse, or front, of the coin features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln with the word Liberty to his left and the date of minting to his right. Above, the famous motto, "In God We Trust," crowns the design. Now let's zoom into the year 1996. By this time, the Lincoln cent had already seen several changes. Most notably, in 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the penny due to rising copper prices. From that year onward, pennies were made primarily of zinc and coated in a thin layer of copper, meaning any 1996 penny you find is actually 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. The 1996 Lincoln cent continued to carry the design introduced in 1959 for the reverse side, which featured the Lincoln Memorial. Designed by Frank Gasparo, this image replaced the earlier wheat ears motif and provided another tribute to President Lincoln's legacy. If you look closely at a genuine coin under magnification, you can even see the statue of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, an incredible detail for such a small coin. The 1996 Liberty 1-cent coin was struck at 3 primary mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia Mint. These coins have no mint mark and are the most commonly found in circulation. Denver Mint. Identified by a small D mint mark under the date, these coins were also released in large quantities. San Francisco Mint. These coins bear an S mint mark and are special proof issues, produced specifically for collectors. They were not intended for regular circulation and have a beautiful mirror-like finish. The total mintage for 1996 was enormous. Over 14 billion pennies were produced across all mints. That's right, over 6.6 billion from Philadelphia, 6.5 billion from Denver, and over 2 million proof coins from San Francisco. This massive production means that, for the most part, 1996 pennies are common in circulation even today. Now comes the question on every collector's mind: is the 1996 Liberty 1-cent coin worth more than 1 cent? The short answer is, it depends. In circulated condition, most 1996 pennies, especially those from Philadelphia and Denver, are still only worth face value. That's 1 cent. Why? Because they're so common and most have seen heavy use, meaning they've lost their luster and fine details. However, certain factors can increase a coin's value. Uncirculated condition, MS60 to MS70. If you have a coin that looks brand new, no scratches, no discoloration, no signs of wear, it may be worth more. A 1996 penny in mint state 65 condition can fetch 30 cents to $1.00. A Philadelphia penny in MS67 condition has sold for as much as $45 at auction. A 1996 S-proof penny in PR69 deep cameo can be worth $5 to $10, depending on market demand. But here's where it gets interesting: error coins. Yes, even modern coins can have minting mistakes that make them extremely valuable. Watch out for off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, die cracks, or cuts. Some of these error coins have sold for $50 to several $100s, especially if the error is dramatic and the coin is in good condition. If you're checking your change or going through your coin collection, here are a few tips to identify a potentially valuable 1996 Liberty 1-cent coin. Check for mint marks. Philadelphia has none. Denver has a D, and San Francisco has an S. Look for errors. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Assess the condition. The shinier and more detailed, the better. Check the weight. A standard post-1982 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. Anything heavier might be an older copper version or an error planchet. Let's take a quick look at some recent sales to give you an idea of what's happening in the current market. A 1996 S-proof penny-graded PR70 sold $4.35. A 1996 DMS 67 Plus red penny sold $4.60. An error 1996 penny with a die break went for over $120 on eBay. As with all coins, value is driven by rarity, demand, and condition. While most 1996 pennies are still worth just 1 cent, there are gems out there, and collectors are willing to pay a premium. So, the next time you find a penny on the sidewalk, don't just walk by. That small copper coin might have a big story to tell. From over a century of design changes to rare and valuable errors, the 1996 Liberty 1-cent coin is more than just loose change. It's a living piece of American history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another deep dive into the fascinating world of coins. And let us know in the comments, have you found a valuable penny in your collection? Until next time, happy collecting!